we are in the Fslabs highly anticipated and finally here A321. We're doing a flight with Jonathan, our buddy here, in the next A321 there, and we're going to be taking off from Queensland and heading over to Wellington in New Zealand. Despite you seeing him there with sharklets, the Fslabs A321 does not come with sharklets. That's just that same model matching there. We're up and ready and just about to push back, so give me 2 seconds, and then once we're airborne we can have a little talk about the new addition to the hangar as well as what's to come. Bear with me a few seconds and I'll speak to you in a bit. Power unit disconnected and charts disconnected.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
Queenstown traffic, Skyways 3516 is pushing back.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push.
Parking brake release.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, so while this is doing, we can have a little bit of chat just before we start up. Now with this aircraft, it sets up the same way as the A319, A320. So if you're familiar with Fslabs, then in that regards the plane is similar. However, they are completely two different aircrafts and they fly completely different. Now the big gotcha with this aircraft is that if you're not careful, if you're not observant, and you happen to fall beneath your speeds for flap retraction, you are going to hit alpha floor. For those not familiar with Airbus, that's one of their protections in place to stop the aircraft from stalling, where the autopilot will override the pilot's power settings and give the aircraft full power. It can be disengaged, but it could be quite embarrassing, especially if you're simming. Now,
set parking brakes.
Life jackets and brace position that you must adopt.
Parking brake set.
Brace, brace.
I'm not going to go through the new features except for what is quite obvious. You've got these two screens here. I don't quite know how to use one as yet because I've just literally got to the aircraft and I'm just starting my first flight. I'm traveling in 4 hours, so I'm a bit of a rush because I still need to get this uploaded to YouTube. And let's start engine 2.
It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth.
Tow truck
Hold in place with the strap.
Bypass pin removed.
Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle.
Right is clear.
If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight.
Start on engine 1. PTU sounds are different. I do miss the barking. Flaps 2. APU blade coming off. And we do a flight controls check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left.
Skyways 100, are you ready or shall I taxi past you?
Taxi past me.
100.
Full right, center, rudders, full left, center, full right, center. Flight controls check complete. We're going to keep it on ignition, and Jonathan should be passing us, so we wait on him. Now he doesn't have the ORBX, so his taxiways are going to be slightly different, as it will be the default that he's using. We've got low ceilings to about 2,000 feet. So one of the most obvious features you can see is the PBR. As you can see the shine there from the light hitting it. You can backtrack, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm just looking at something on the wing.
Cabin crew seats for departure, please.
I believe steering on this aircraft is going to be a little bit different as well. It doesn't have as much travel. One second there. It doesn't have as much travel as the A320.
Hello, it's Roland. Let's cabin secure for takeoff. Thank you.
comes Jonathan. Pull up your gear. There you go. Nice. Queenstown traffic, Skyways 3516 is backtracking runway 23. Strobes on. Clear left, clear right. So in case you're wondering, there's no PBR on the inside. It's only on the actual airframe on the outside. Config tests. Excuse me. Queenstown traffic, Skyways 3516, taking off runway 23. Speed alive. Where's up, Jonathan? That's our own inside joke. Climb speed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes. In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from us fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. You can also purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we could be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Look at the speed here, we aren't that far off 220 we are at it now, and if we had the flaps retracted just 10 knots earlier, we would have actually hit alpha floor. So that's one of the things you have to be careful with the differences between the 321 and the 320.
Green ahead.
Winds at 6,800 feet, we're flying, climbing 2,600 feet per minute. And we're now at 6,500. And we start to make our turn soon. Seatbelt signs off. I'd say though that the aircraft actually feels a lot better than the 319 and 320. That's 10,000 feet. So as per our seat, we're going to be at 10,000 feet for the next 7 miles, and then we'll continue to the cruise. We're awfully close to alpha floor. In reality, I shouldn't have picked up the flaps as yet. Tooth thing is just right above the speed where alpha floor will kick in. So if I actually drop down to say 205, it would actually kick in at this point. Going to 121.7. Hey Jonathan, you there?
Hello there.
Are you liking it, bud?
It was really nice. How about you?
I'm loving it. I think to me it feels better than the 320s and 321s, but on this side I'm at 210 knots, which is just above alpha floor, and I've retracted my flaps, so anything underneath, I'm screwed.
What config did you use? I used config 2.
Same as well, config 2 for takeoff and toga.
Yeah, I used Toga as well. I wasn't going to, but I'm pleased I did, because it would have been disastrous if I hadn't.
Yeah, I figured as much. 10,000 feet and now off of the seat.
Just passing
11 miles from Dulo.
I've just gone past that Addons.
That's 15 miles for me.
1.5.
No, 1.5.
Okay, that's perfect.
So Michael, it
My
worked.
GSX managed to push me back onto the grass by about 100 metres. So then my plane sank when I started taxiing. I landed about 4 times.
Say that again.
My GSX, when it pushed me back, it pushed me onto the grass, but the grass is a different level than the taxiway.
So sure you're taking off or landing?
It kept bouncing.
You could get Queenston from Orbis. They have like 50% off at the moment.
If I was married, my wife would kill you.
You're not. Anyways, give me a few. I want to talk to these guys.
What guys?
Alright, so my first impressions is I love it. The handling seems better. It's heavier and it's not as subjective to the oversteering that I find like with the A319 or the 321. There is a little bit there, but it's negligible. It's not that noticeable. I like that when I was taxiing down the runway, I was going at a faster clip and the aircraft wasn't bouncing side to side, so I did like that. It's a heavier aircraft, so some of the dynamics will be slightly different. There is an onboard video camera which activates when you're boarding, so you can see the passengers getting in via these cameras, which is in here as well. I don't know how to use them, and I'm not going to even try to figure it out now. As I said, this is just a quick get in and fly, see how it is. Given the state that releases have been pushed out from other developers, I am pleasantly surprised that there's nothing major with the Fslabs A321. There's a couple things that they did catch, which is just aesthetics regarding the cabin blinds and stuff like that. It's not a feature that I use. I've actually never looked into the cabin. I probably never will. It's not something that interests me. I always stay either up here or over the wings. Outside of that is pretty much whatever comes across at the time that I noticed I'll probably speak about, but it is pretty much standard in terms of the actual operational process as it relates to both this and the other Airbuses, the 319 and 320. Speaking about those, they've been updated today as well. They don't have PBR as yet, but in order for you to have the A321, you have to do the update from Fslabs for the 319 and the 320. Well, so more so for the 320. You don't have to have the 319 to get the 321, but you have to have the 320 to get the 321. This is absolutely stunning. I'm loving my clouds at the moment. Absolutely beautiful. Now I'm not sure what the story is going to be with FS2 crew. I'm probably going to drop Brian a line soon, but the same way that FS2 crew works for the 319 and the 320, I would imagine that there's just probably a couple things that need to be added for the 321. I'm not a developer, so I'm not speaking on FS2 crew behalf. We'll probably wait for something official from them, but I don't fly without it too often, so as Jonathan indicated on my takeoff, was to remember my gear, which is, like I said, an inside joke. I tend to forget the gear sometimes because it's something that Fslabs would handle for me, and I just concentrate on the actual flying. Now we're 329 miles out. And we're now going through 18,000 feet. We set standard, as the transition altitude is different from the States. It's actually, I believe, at 11,000 feet, no, 12,500, I believe, in New Zealand. I could be wrong, I speak under correction. I don't remember the figure that was actually there. Actually, I can look it up 2 seconds here. It's actually 13,000 feet for the transition altitude. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the video here. There's not much more to say for the next 200 miles. And I will start another video for the landing. It's not going to be a dissected video, this one, so hope you guys don't mind. This is not a review, it's just a first impressions. We took off, we got airborne, talk a little bit about the aircraft. And actually, before I go, let me say a massive thank you to all you guys who have subscribed, watched the videos for the past year and the years before. I do appreciate you guys. This is probably, as I might have said, this is probably going to be my last flight. I'm not 100% sure. I might try to get another one up in the air. But I want to say a massive thank you for the patronage over the last years. And for those who joined this year, thank you so much as well for sticking by me this year. I also want to say Merry Christmas to you guys who do celebrate it. Happy Hanukkah if that's your affinity. And for those who don't celebrate either or, I just want to wish you happy holidays for the season and all the best for 2020. And I hope that it is even much better, both in sim as well as in real life, than what 2019 had to offer. Signing off for now, take care and speak to you soon. See ya!